Pretty pumped about that, 'cause Testament's where it's at. They're pretty badass. What's up, y'all? It's Thrash Potatoes. How you doing? Welcome back to the Shack. SKOLNICK says Testament has close to half a new album's worth of music written. Pretty pumped about that, because Testament's where it's at. They're pretty badass. In a new interview with Chaosine, I don't know how you say it, conducted on June 15th at the Copenhagen Festival in Copenhagen, Denmark, Testament guitarist SKOLNICK spoke about the progress of the songwriting sessions for the band's follow-up 2020 Titans of Creations album. He said, as transcribed by Blabbermouth, there are a few songs, few ideas, we haven't gotten to the vocals yet, but I would say there's close to half an album's worth of music that is pretty close to having vocals. We still need to write the other half, and then get into that process, but it's coming together. We can never rush it. It always takes time, which is good because you get a badass album that way. As for when Testament fans can expect to see the new LP release, Alex said, we don't have a lot of shows after this tour until September. We're going to go to Asia, where we haven't been in a long time, and in between now and then, we're just going to try to complete the writing, at least as far as the music goes, and then I think by next year we should be able to get going in the studio early in the year and have a record recorded and have it come out next year. That's pretty exciting if you ask me. Testament's been laying it down lately, so pretty pumped. Alex's latest comments echo those made by his bandmate, Testament guitarist Eric Peterson, who told Loud TV about the group's plan for a new album. There was a big gap because of COVID. Now we're getting ready. Probably after this European tour to go start working on new material. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. We have about 5-6 songs written already, and I'll probably try to finish up when I get home. And then hopefully record right after we go to Japan. So 24 should look like a release date for Testament. Hell yeah, that's gonna be pretty freaking awesome. I'm kind of pumped for that. That's gonna be sick. Peterson went on to say that the new Testament material is shaping up to be killer. He added, I'm a fan. For me, I wouldn't release anything unless I'm a fan of what I'm doing. I have to get goosebumps when I hear it. I'm like, yeah. And then of course, I play it for friends. A few of them go, but most of them go, fuck. Except for Chuck Billy, Testament singer. Chuck goes, and then 4 years later, he goes, that's the best song ever. Write more shit like that. And I'm like, yeah, but 4 years ago you said that sucked. As for when Testament will record the new album, Eric said hopefully maybe October or November, if not probably January, February, but we're shooting for this year, at the end of the year. I think I'll be done writing in September, so we just have to wait for the vocals, which can take a while, but we'll see what happens. Peterson was also full of praise for Testament's new drummer, Chris Dovas, Seven Spires, who officially joined the band earlier this year as a replacement for Dave Lombardo. It's a trip. Dave had to go, doing things, you know what I mean? This past April, Lombardo revealed in an interview in Blabbermouth.net that he would sit out the remainder of Testament's 2023 shows with no guarantee that he will return to the band. And that's a bummer. They need to have a full-time drummer anyway. All those staff would have been cool to see right there, but I mean, whoever they get, this dude's dope, you know what I mean? Lombardo, who was a guest drummer on Testament's 1999 studio album, The Gathering, formerly joined the long-running San Francisco Bay Area act last year. Former Slayer drummer is currently a member of the Misfits, Mr. Bungle, Empire State Bastards, and Satanic Planet, amongst others. He also played with Suicidal Tendencies from 2016 up to 2020. Prior to joining Testament as a full-time member, Elvis previously filled in for Lombardo on 6 of the dates of Testament, summer-fall 2022, leg of the Bay Strikes Back tour. Lombardo was unable to make those gigs due to a scheduling conflict with the Misfits, so he wanted to jam with the Misfits instead of Testament. I would have flipped it, but whatever. They're both cool bands. I mean, Peterson told Loud TV about Dovas, when we were auditioning for new drummers, his videotape was the #1 for me, and then, of course, Dave Lombardo called us, so we kind of just pushed everything aside. We said, okay, we'll try Dave. And when Dave was like, oh, I got this show coming up, I went back to my videos, and I was like, oh yeah, this guy. I remember the other guys going, let's call Paul Bostaff, let's call John Tempesta, which both amazing drummers, you know what I mean, freaking White Zombie and, like, literally everything. And of course, they would probably do it, but with the stipulation of like, I can only do this date and I can only do that date. I called Chris and he was like, oh man, I'll do everything. And so we tried him and we were just like, what? Perfect tempo, everything correct, bam, bam, very polite, really nice guy, can't say enough good things about him. He's just a really good drummer. He's 24, he's my son's age. young blood back in Testament. For me too, he loves black metal, so he was like into blast beats. But he also graduated from a school called Berkeley, so jazz. He's very fluent. He's not like, oh, I only know blast beats. He knows blues, which blues is awesome. Testament's really diverse. We have all ballads. We have rock songs. We have blast beats. That's just it. When he came to visit me before this tour, we were rehearsing for the tour, but we would go back to my house at night, do some Jaeger really late at night, and just start jamming at my house. And the next morning we were like, whoa, really cool shit. So I'm excited for the next record. It's gonna be killer. SKOLNICK sat out some of Testament's spring-summer 2023 European tour dates in order to tend to a family emergency. That's a bummer. Hope everything's alright. He was replaced at the shows by former Machine Head and current Violence guitarist Phil Demmel. When I seen it, someone had announced him as Machine Head's guitarist, and I was like, nah, I don't think he'd like that. So there you have it, New Testament on the way soon. I'm glad I could report this. If you liked the video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up, and you know that like, subscribe, all that bullshit. You know what I mean? If you didn't, that's cool, but we'll still see you the next round. Alright, be good at it. Take it easy, and we'll see you next time.